So Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 0. And it was a bit of a snooze fest. We got the job done in the end. Kenny, you was at the game. Freezing, cold, wet, windy. Jez, you had a ticket for the game. And obviously the tube strike cost you going to the game, unfortunately, mate. Not that you're going to get your money back, unfortunately. We normally do a little breakdown for anyone who's missed the fan cams, but Kenny's on a timescale. He's at a train station. So just go and check the fan cams out. Everybody who's watching this, make sure you check out Jez, Kenny, mine, everybody else's. Let's just get straight into player ratings. Goalkeeper Jez, Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, yeah, another great performance. Couple of great saves there. Fair play to the man. I'm going to give him a 7. Yeah, good performance. And I'm not giving him higher than that because my man in the match is going to get an 8. So
let's move on to Kenny. Kenny, let's go to Nuno Tavares.
Oh no, Jez, I'm sorry, mate. I think that was your man, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, Jez.
No, Jez, you have that one. No, Jez, all yours, mate. All yours. Because of what I did last week.
Yeah, I thought he's great today, man. I think he's absolute quality. Definitely an 8 for me. I would love to have given him a 9, but he nearly caused us a penalty. That was a definite nudge in the back in the second half. How we got away with that, I don't know. But yeah, I thought he's absolutely. I mean, I'd be honest with you, Tomiyasu and him, I thought were great today. So Tavares, yeah, you're my man of the match. You've got an 8.
Let's go to the opposite side. Tomiyasu, Kenny.
Tomiyasu, you know what? He did actually quite all right. You know, first he had to contend with some massive man, and also he had to contend with Ryan Fraser as well. I thought he did a solid job. Not that Newcastle had much to give us. You know, they had a shot in the first half, but you know that ball for Martinelli was the admission entrance alone. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him a 7 just for that for assist, because he's been solid and he hasn't really left to stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's been pretty decent since he's been here. A few iffy performances against Brighton and Liverpool, but other than that, overall, considering he's a centre-back playing at right-back in a new league, he's been pretty good, hasn't he? Let's go to centre-backs, Jez. Let's give you Ben White, involved in that Martinelli goal.
I think he did well today, Ben White. I think he's starting to settle into his role. He brings the ball out the box, which is his main role. I'm starting to warm to him, Lee. I know you like to call him Ben Shite. I thought he was quite solid today. I think he did all right. I can only think of he got spun in the first half, but yeah, I thought he did all right, man. I'm going to give it. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, listen, I can't disagree. I thought he was pretty good today. Callum Wilson's not easy to mark, and we're going to Gabriel, Kenny, his partner in crime at centre back. I think Kenny's froze. Yeah, he's on that TFL Wi-Fi. Kenny's gone, mate. He's gone. Jez, we'll give you Gabriel then, his partner in crime.
Gabriel, yeah, I think he did all right.
That's what happens when you do this, yeah, when it's live and direct.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
We've got 2 Kenny Pens. Look at that, 2 Kenny Pens.
Kick one out. Kick one out. Which one are you kicking out, mate?
Gabriel, Kenny. Gabriel. Ben White's partner in crime. Callum Wilson's not an easy customer to mark, and I felt he done pretty well with him today. Yeah. There was a few hairy moments, but obviously we kept a clean sheet. What did you make of Gabriel, mate?
You know what? I think he did really well, because I think there was he had to contend with both Wilson's strength and pace as well. And I thought, with what he did today, I was very, very impressed. So I'm going to give my guy a 6.
Let's move into midfield. Jez, Thomas Partey.
Poor. Disappointing, man. Since he's come, I expected a lot more. I totally agree with what you said on the fan cam, Lee, that he's doing a lot more physical running than where he was previously. and I think that's causing him a problem. I think at times today he panicked a little bit. So I'm going to give him a 6.
His partner next to him, Kenny, Sambi Lakonga.
You know what? I thought Albert did all right today. You know, he didn't have much to contend with. I know he had. There were times when Shelby was getting a few runs. He had a few pot shots and goal. But you know, I'm going to give Albert a 6.
Jez, your specialist subject, Martin Odergaard.
Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Well. I tell you what, great free kick. Unlucky it wasn't top bins, but my God, this guy needs to get some new boots and he needs to really muscle up. He gets knocked off. I know Newcastle have got some big players and they're a physical team, but Mr. Odegaard, this is the Premier League. It's a physical league. It's a fast running league. You need to smarten up, my friend, because otherwise you ain't going nowhere. And I will give you a 3 purely because of a couple of nice balls you put through, and your free kick was unlucky. And that's it. I'm sorry.
Mate, I did a fan cam with Matt McDowell, Southern Gooner. Joe, you'll know who he is.
Yeah.
And his fan cam title, Kenny, is Martin Odegaard needs to go on a Kenny Ken training program. It's true.
I hear you guys.
There was one where he got bodied and he literally rolled. I was like, this is shades of Ozil, mate. Like, it was mad. Let's go to the first goal scorer, Kenny, Bukayo Saka, the much maligned Bukayo Saka. Didn't really do a great deal in the first half. Didn't have a lot of support.
Well, he missed him. Albert put a good ball for him, and but he wasn't in the right position. He was off balance. I think what's happening now is that because of what Bukayo gives to side, because it is our attack, you'll find that a lot of teams are going to be targeting for the rough treatment, and I think that's what they did today with Bukayo. But got his goal. We did. The switch worked for him. Got the switch. And before you know it, took his goal well. And then afterwards, he got smashed again. And it was a groin injury, I said. But I think it was he got smashed in a couple of tackles. So I'm going to give him a 6 on account that he scored. But you know what? I think he just has to kind of vary his game and just roll the punches because, he's a marked man now, Bukayo.
Yeah, 100%. He's a target. And it doesn't help as well. And listen, people get it twisted, right? Because I do coat him off. But I don't coat him off because I don't rate him. And this is where people can't seem to grasp it in their pea brains. It's like, I expect better from him, but I also break it down and say, look, he's been playing poor. Tomiyasu doesn't overlap him, which also don't help him because he's so predictable because he wants to come in on his left. If he has an overlap, then he can come in on his left. But then not only that, when he went on that left for that goal, maybe start playing him left. I don't know, but let's go to the opposite side. Jez, Smith Rowe.
I thought he was a bit in and out today. Did some good stuff. Gave the ball away quite a lot, really. This thing of shooting by players like Tavares, Tomiyasu, Partey, ESR. Who the fuck is our shooting coach? Because whoever he is, sack him. I mean, there was one occasion there where Tavares, that ended up in fucking Avenel Road. You know what I mean? It's poor. Don't try ESR to do things like that when you've got a defender 4 yards in front of you. You ain't good enough yet, my friend, to curl the ball round him. You're not fucking Bergkamp. You're not Henri. I wish you were, but you ain't. So I'm sorry, my friend, you're getting a 5.
Let's go to our club captain, Kenny Ken, Aubameyang.
Waste of space, waste of time. Give up the ghost. It's over. He's finished. You know, you can back him all you want, and you're entitled to, because he deserves that because of his record. But the performances don't lie. You know, we tackled this problem last season. This season, it seems to have got worse in terms of his game involvement. You can't have a situation where you have to get Lacazette in to get him into play. Aubameyang's strengths are playing off the shoulder, and going to spaces that are left open by Smith Rowe and Lacazette. But we don't play that way. When he starts games at centre forward, he has to, hold the ball up. He has to be able to play with his back to goal, and he has to work hard. He hasn't done either. So you saw it, and that chance as well. I think I got lost in my train of thought, and I forgot to mention that chance. But for me, it's time that we considered selling him this January. I'm going to give him a 2.
Let's go to substitutes. I think that's being pretty generous as well, giving him a 2, if I'm honest. But let's go to substitutes. Yeah. Jez, let's go to Lacazette.
Came on. Didn't do a lot, but I'll give him a 6. He tried, didn't do a lot. So yeah, 6.
Yeah, he didn't. It was weird because he came on and the game was a little bit, but
a bit flat.
Yeah, it was a bit flat, and it was a bit of a lull in the game, although most of the game was a lull. But he was getting the ump a few times with other players around him, which I noticed, because they weren't passing the ball quick enough. Yeah, and he started throwing his arms up at one point. And I was like, we ain't really seen this from Laka. Normally he's the energy. Today he didn't look like he brought that energy, man. I don't know. Maybe that was just because he was a sub and not a starter. I don't know. Kenny, let's go to the man of the moment, Martinelli. What a goal. Kenny's froze again. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yeah. Hey, I've got to go because I can see her in the background. So if I've got to do Martinelli, I'm going to give Martinelli a 6.5 for his goal and his work rate. I can't give him anything higher because simple reasons. He didn't have enough time to change the game for me. So, but here's an indication that if Aubameyang being out of form, we have to consider using this lad, because we can play Lacazette up front, and then we can play Martinelli off him and play Smith Rowe. You don't disrupt the team. It's disrupt the team to some extent, and then Arteta can have his mate Odergaard in. But then again, he can't have Odegaard in because he loves Saka as well. So that is my contribution.
There you go. You go and have a lovely evening, mate. Have a wicked weekend.
Love you too, guys. Look after yourselves. All right.
And you, mate. Take care. Last sub, Mohamed El Neni.
Didn't do a lot, did he?
Weren't on long enough, really.
So I'll give him a 5 for turning up. He got an instruction on the sidelines from Arteta doing all this, which
bringing the planes in.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no planes landing from Heathrow at the Emirates again. Bit like at Liverpool the other week. Yeah, sorry, mate. You're getting a 5 because you didn't do a lot. You didn't have time. So that's it, mate.
We'll do a 3-2-1 and we're both mark the manager, yeah? And apologies to anyone who does want this to go on for 40 minutes like it normally does. But unfortunately, Kenny's on a time scale, which is why he's gone. And listen, he's had a long day as well. He's probably freezing his bollocks off. It's not nice and warm back home. Let's do a 3-2-1 and do the manager, yeah? 3, 2, 1, 1.
6.
Oh.
I'll tell you why.
Go on, mate.
I'll tell you why. Because... No, can I change that to a 5? Sorry.
Yeah, you can change it to whatever you want, mate. It's your
5.
rating.
I'm going to give him a 5 because he brought on Martinelli. It's about time he brought on bloody Martinelli. And the fact that, in fact, 5's too high, but I'm stuck with it now, so it's tough shit. Yeah.
You're kind of struggling here, aren't you, Jez?
Yeah, I just suddenly thought of something else. No. So I've cocked it up. I should have thought about it harder. So I apologise because of the Saka situation. Yeah. So yeah, you can guys, you can forget my comment there. I should have thought about it. I do apologise.
I gave him a 1. Number 1, Newcastle at bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Number 2, he was forced into subbing Martinelli on. It was similar to how he was forced into playing Smith Rowe when Willian and Martinelli were injured last season, or had COVID or whatever they had. So he was never going to bring Martinelli on. So he was kind of forced into it. And his reaction when Martinelli scored was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, he scored. Yeah, and he scored in seconds. And that just shows how good the kid is, right? Yes, they're a poor team, Newcastle, but we made a poor team look half decent at times today. We made them look comfortable defensively. And it weren't like we were peppering shots at them. And they were still a bit of a threat. John Joe Shelby's a quality footballer, man. He's a really good, technically good footballer. And he was a bit of a menace today at times. Saint Maximin, he can run around a lot. He's quick. He's technically good, but his end product's dead. He's just a faster Alex Iwobi, really, and he's got all the technical ability but no end product. And then you had Callum Wilson on another day could have had 2 or 3 pens. On another day they're given. And if it was the other way round, I'm not saying. I think the only one that could be probably seen as a penalty was the one where Odergaard pushed him to the ground. That one for me was pretty clear. The one where Tavares barged Callum Wilson, I've seen them given. Yeah, and on another day, if that's Ronaldo, I was saying this with Matt a minute ago, if that's Ronaldo, he either goes clean through and scores, but if he goes down in that instance, it's Ronaldo, it's a penalty. Yeah, because it's Callum Wilson, he didn't get it. So
if I could have been the referee, man of the match today.
he was definitely a gooner, mate. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. I reckon he probably watches this channel because
big up Stuart Atwell.
Yeah, he let us get away with a few really dodgy decisions today.
Well, even our goal, Saint Maximin got fouled. Yeah, and then we scored off of the back of it, and it was like, okay. Then there was another one where Saint Maximin got fouled. Then we got the free kick where Joe Willock took Odegaard out, but it should have been a foul. And it was like, we got the rub of the green today. We really did. And it weren't a great performance. It was boring to watch. We got the job done. 2 little bits of quality, won the game. Ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, where we end up at the end of the season is probably not going to be determined off of this game. It's going to be determined off of the bigger games. But good luck to Newcastle. I hope they stay up. I like Newcastle. I like their city. I like their people.
Great fan base. Great fan base.
Jez, they must have left their house at 3:30 in the morning to get to that game.
I mean, come down. It's snowing up there. There's like 3,000 of them come down.
Yeah.
And what I love about Newcastle fans is, I know they're not up in Newcastle today, but it's bitter. It's like 3 degrees in London today, and they're there in their bloody shirt sleeves. You got to big them up for it, man. You got to say, well, fair play to you boys, because I'm sorry I couldn't get to the game today because of the tube strike. But in another way, I'll be a wimp and say it would have been bloody cold there today. And so I actually sat at home with a cup of tea, watched the game on BT, and it was a ball fest. We did open up a little bit in the second half. Overall, I'm sorry, you guys out there that love Arteta. He is not going to take us forward. Get it in your little brains. Get out your fucking back bedrooms and out your cellars. Work it out, because for all you Arteta sexuals that want to give him one, ain't going to work.
Never in a million years, mate. Somebody made a great point, right, earlier on at the end of the watch along when I did the fans calling. He said, it's all well and good having Project Youth, but what happens if Smith Rowe or Saka kick on and have a really great season and we still finish 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever it may be, but they have a great season, all of a sudden Man City or Chelsea or a top team come in for one of them and go, 65 mil. All of a sudden we're taking that. Their head's going to be turned. They're going to go and play for Pep, or they're going to pay for Klopp, or they're paying for Tuchel, right? And it's like all of a sudden that Project Youth is now not Project Youth anymore, is it? Because that's now one youth gone. Yeah, then the other ones go, well, if I play good, I could get a move. Yeah. And again, we do it the following season. All of a sudden, Project Youth that's going to take 2, 3, 4 years to never bang, right? Because it's only ever happened once in England, class of 92. All of a sudden, that Project Youth then gets ripped apart real quick. Then what? And it was a great point. And I thought, like, people don't think this shit out. They just go with the buzz phrases, man. Every year, Arsenal have to have a phrase. Every year. Judge in May. Yeah. Judge in May was a phrase for years. Then it's Project Youth. Before that, it was trust the process. Why is it Arsenal have to have a phrase every season? Steven Gerrard's gone into Aston Villa and won again. They got to start. They've just beaten Crystal Palace away. We couldn't beat him at home. Yeah. He's going to go in there. He's going to do bits with that team, mate. And I'll tell you something now, right? Steven Gerrard is a fucking top quality player, mate, as a player, but he's a fucking top quality coach, right? And he's learned from some of the very best managers and coaches in his career at Liverpool. He's had Kenny Dalglish, he's had Rafa, he's had Brendan Rodgers. These are top quality people, man, within football. I think he had Roy Evans at one point. Yeah, you could maybe say lesser, but he's still a top player, a top coach at the time, right? He's had some good people there, man. Then he's gone into to Rangers, and he's won their first title in a decade. Yeah, Rangers fans want to kill him. They can't stand him now. He's fucking fucked off with the whole staff and everything, which I kind of get. But at the same time, he made him invincible, mate. Yeah, so I don't really get it because he'd never had an affiliation with that club. Yeah, it's not like Ali McCoist went and done it and fucked off to Aston Villa, is it? It's like Steven Gerrard. He had no attachment to them. He's gone and done what he's done. He left them top of the table and he's bounced, right? He's gone into Villa. They're going to fly up the table, mate, because he ain't going to. I remember watching his first couple of press conferences, right, where he had a player next to him that had been out injured on and off for 3 years, and the journalist said to him, to that player, "So, what do you think you can?" And Gerrard went, "Whoa! He's our captain, and he's been out for 3 years, pretty much. I'll answer that question, and let me tell you this: anyone who doesn't understand how big Glasgow Rangers is, number one, needs to educate themselves. Number two, it goes." Big players need to turn up in big moments of big football matches. And if they don't, they're out the door. This is Glasgow Rangers. He had that mindset from day one. And he's sat there talking on behalf of his captain, totally shut everyone up. He's going to go into Villa and he's going to do a whirlwind. And we all know he's getting the Liverpool job in 2 or 3 years' time.
Absolutely.
And when he does, he'll be successful at Liverpool as well. And this is why I get the Jez, because it's like this attachment and association to a guy who's done fuck all in the game. He didn't even get a cap for Spain. He's won an FA Cup for Arsenal. Congrats. Well done. We all celebrated it. What have you actually done? You won an FA Cup with Arsenal as a player. You won an FA Cup as a manager. Well done. What? That buys you fucking free pass for the next 4 years? No, it don't. Because this is Arsenal Football Club. Every other club in the country is acting like a big club. Norwich sacked their manager. This is the manager that's kept them going back and forth. Yeah? How many other clubs have got relegated and never come back? This guy gets them relegated and comes back again. You know? It just winds me up, mate.
Well, you know, you're quite rightly what you say about the young players. Proves it today. Martinelli comes on, scores a worldie. You're going to get teams like Chelsea, Man City, Man U, Liverpool, Real Madrid. They're going to look at this kid because he's proved that he has the talent. But Arteta, for some reason, does not rate him. And as you quite rightly said, and I said, you could see Arteta on the sidelines was like, "Oh, fuck, scored. That means I might have to start him now. Oh, Martinelli, why did you score? Because that means that everybody wants you to start, but I don't want to start you because I'd rather start Aubameyang because, oh, well, now I've got to." This is the whole thing that frustrates me with this absolute fraud. And people believe in him. Like I said to you earlier, this fucking idiot in Brendan's chat saying that, Brandon, you're not a real fan. And I said to him, well, what makes you a real fan? Because you disagree with what Brandon said about Aubameyang. Well, Aubameyang, I'm sorry, man, you're done. You've been proved it for a season and a half. You were shit last year. You've been shit this year.
Mm.
So sorry, man, it's time to go.
But this is the thing, Jez, right? And we were just speaking backstage before Kenny come in and said he was on a timescale, so we sped it up. But a lot of fans that live overseas say this to me in the chat, right? And they say that because they can't go to games and they're not lucky enough to have been born in England to go to the game, and it's like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity, they're never really going to slag the club off because they feel closer to the club by boosting it, which I get. I totally get it. But at the same time, sometimes that's to the detriment of the football club, because when you've got a global fan base as big as Arsenal's, and Josh Kroenke openly admits he reads social media, he still ain't come back to me on whether he's coming on this channel or not.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I need to get his email address and email him. Yeah, but it's like when you've got such a big global audience and a majority of the fans abroad, and I'm abroad. So listen, I'm not being prejudiced. I'm not being elitist or anything like that. I've been to games week in, week out. I now don't go to games week in, week out. I live abroad, right? But when people come in my chat, and there's only people that come in my chat that say this, that subscribe to me, say we feel closer to the club by boosting it and not slagging it off. But we like what you say because you educate us, you give us passion, you give us this, and we learn from you and this and that, which is all nice to hear. But at the same time, I say to these people, like, yeah, but why don't you just say what you think?
Mm.
You know, because the club will not do anything other than what their audience want. And if the majority of the audience want shit, they're getting served shit.
Mm.
So if everyone's happy with shit, pretty much, and there's a little minority like us that are piping up and putting our head above the parapet and saying, bollocks, this is crap, we're the minority. The majority are silencing us, and the club would just play up to the majority and say, right, cool, there's another merch drop. There's another merch drop. Oh, yeah, tickets are going up. It's now £7 a pint. It's now 11 quid for a glass of wine. It's now this, it's now that. And as long as people keep doing that, the club are going to still do it. No other club in world football, Jez, takes the piss like Arsenal do. Even Man United have finally fucked Ollie off. And now they've gone, actually, we fucked up for the last 3.5 years. Now let's go and get a footballing person in the club. Where's our footballing people? Edu, mate, come on. Yeah, Vinay, really? Richard Garlick, come on. Yeah, Josh Kroenke, no. Arteta, he was a footballer. Don't give you the fucking qualifications to manage Arsenal, mate. Edu, fucking, I'm sorry, mate. You were a bench player for the Invincibles. Good player. Yeah, good. He was a good player. Yeah, and based on our midfield, he'd probably get a game right now. But at the same time, it doesn't qualify him to do the job he's doing. And it's like, you know, Michael Carrick, the reason they've gone and employed Ragnick is because he could only do the job for 6 weeks because he ain't got his badges. So why the fuck are you coaching for Man United? Man United, and you're giving somebody who's not got no coaching badges a coaching job. But Man U have woke up and said, bollocks to that. We're ripping all this up. We're going to go down this route now. Yeah, we need Arsenal to do that. And the only way Arsenal do that is for results to get worse or the fans to grow a set. And to be honest, the only way I see it happening is the results getting worse because the fans won't grow a set, Jez, unfortunately, mate.
But let's think back, Lee. Arsenal through history, and we can go right back here, back to the 50s, 60s, 70s. Arsenal do not have a great track record of getting rid of managers. They hang on. I mean, it was the fans that got rid of Terry Neal in the 70s.
Yeah.
Bertie Mee. And then we had in Bruce Rioch, which was I felt sorry for Bruce Rioch. We had Arsene Wenger coming. So, you know. But Arsenal have never, ever shown that quality in binning managers when managers have gone bad. Yeah. So it's shown itself again with Arteta. You know, it showed it with Wenger. Let's be fair. You know, Wenger, I'll put my hands up. When Wenger was first here and we were playing sexy European football, yeah, I love the guy. He stayed too long, took us down the toilet, and we basically sold Unai Emery up the river. I think that guy would have been good at Arsenal. You give him time, but there was an agenda there. I honestly believe there was an agenda there. They wanted Arteta. Fuck knows why. I really don't know why.
Yeah.
And once again, you know, saw people in your chat today saying about top four.
Yeah.
Why do we want to get into Europe with this manager, this squad, and get raped? We ain't going to win the Champions League.
And then that'd be the excuse as to why we didn't get in the top 4 or top 6 the following season. Oh, we had European competition.
Exactly.
Hey, it's just a spiral of crap, Jez. This is the 3rd biggest club in the country. Yeah, we're in the top 15 clubs in the world.
Yeah,
in size, and we're acting like Barnet. Like, with all due respect to them, it's just mad. But listen, we're going to wrap this up, man.
Yeah.
Podcast tomorrow at 8 p.m. people.
Yeah.
Sunday night, 8 p.m. UK time. Going to do the podcast. Going to have a little look ahead to Man United. Obviously, we'll review this as well. And we'll go through it all with a fine tooth comb. So, yeah, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And we're out of here, people.
Take care.